On this episode of the Bar Business Podcast, discover how local partnerships can fill your bar on traditionally slow nights without spending dollars on advertising. Learn why social proof is more powerful than paid marketing and how to generate it authentically. And uncover the simple word-of-mouth systems that turn your customers into your marketing team. Hello and welcome to the Bar Business Podcast, where we help bar owners increase profits, attract loyal guests, and simplify operations so you can avoid burnout and finally enjoy your life outside of your bar. I'm your host, Chris Schneider, the Bar Business Coach. Before we get started, a quick thank you to our sponsors, Spot On, who provide a great modern POS solution for the bar and restaurant industry, and Starfish, who use AI to turn your books into actionable steps to increase profits. So today we're diving into 5 no-cost marketing tactics that can transform your slowest nights into some of your most profitable. We'll explore community partnerships, social proof strategies, and word-of-mouth systems that require zero marketing budget but deliver real results. Let's face it, every bar has those nights where it feels like you're paying your staff to stand around. You don't have guests coming in, and it's just kind of sad. And typically, Monday through Wednesday can be particularly brutal. And the traditional solutions for Monday through Wednesday slash prices, give specials, and cut into your already thin margins. The problem with that is, though, if you're giving away the house, there won't be a house left. So we're going to talk through 5 specific things you can do and implement immediately, essentially, to help fill those slow nights without spending money on traditional marketing. And the first thing we're going to dive into today is community partnership. So what is a community partnership? Well, a community partnership is where you work with other businesses for cross-promotion. You know, it can be things like, I'm going to display something about your hotel, and you display something about my bar. It could be I had this partnership, and it was kind of silly, but with an auto repair place right next to my bar. It was a Goodyear, where they sold tires and did oil changes and things. We had menus and things at Goodyear. We also had Goodyear stuff at the bar. We cross-promoted. It was zero cost, but it extended our reach and it helped build more community. You can create a local heroes night where you go to community service workers or, police, firemen, first responders, and give them recognition or, give them priority seating. You can give them a discount too, but you can just build goodwill by inviting those people in and making sure that they get taken care of really well. You can reach out to local sports teams, theater groups, or other organizations and try to be the official stop after their events, or unofficial. One of the bars I had, we were next to a Beef and Boards, which is kind of a musical theater where they serve you food. And we had karaoke Friday night, and it became tradition for the folks. They would do their musical, they would wrap up, and they'd come over to my bar for karaoke as a way to spend their Friday night before they went home. There was no marketing per se there, but suddenly when you have some of the best singers around coming in and singing karaoke, well, that made for a hell of a karaoke show. And that in turn drew in more guests. You can do trade with other local businesses. So, maybe there's a retailer that has some cool stuff and you can trade gift cards with them, get their employees coming to your spot, get your employees going into their spot. Is it going to cost you something? Yeah, but it's way, way, way less than actual marketing and running ads. You can host community meetings for local organizations. This is something I've talked about before. I love to do. Because if you're a bar and you open for lunch and the Lions Club wants to meet at 9 o'clock in the morning, well, you get them a pitcher of water, you get them a pitcher of iced tea, you make a couple pots of coffee, you put it out for them. Maybe you go and you get them some donuts or something. They are happy as can be, and they will frequent your establishment because now your establishment supports their social club. Now, what else can we do? Let's talk a little bit about social proof strategies. So, social proof, right, comes down to you need real customers to post authentic, real content about you on their social media. This is not about your social media. This is about getting your guests to post on their social media. Now, what is the number one way we do that? We create Instagram-worthy photo opportunities. We need Instagrammable cocktails. We need Instagrammable food. We need a signature wall, some sort of unique lighting, some Instagrammable spot that is identified with our bar. And that way, when people come in, they see these things, they take pictures of them, they post it on their social media. That gives us authentic opportunities to show real guests having fun without us pushing our marketing And now all their friends, all their connections are going to see that and are going to wonder what a great place you have and want to come in. In particularly, if you can theme out your slow nights or come up with a specific hashtag for those nights, now you're going to generate additional social media. Now you can also, with your social media, feature your staff personalities, right? Lean into being who you are and show that authenticity off on social media. But more importantly, get your guests to have the opportunity to take Instagrammable pictures in your bar and post them themselves so that they become your marketers. Look at hosting local events. So it could be a trivia night. It could be open mic for local talent. It could be theme nights that don't require decorations. So an 80s night, or, maybe everybody's supposed to look like Cheers or something. But come up with different ideas for kind of parties and events that don't require a lot of decoration, a lot of work on your part. Open mics can be great. They can be bad too. I mean, we could have a whole conversation about open mics, but that is definitely a way to do it. Another thing that you can do is host networking events. Business people want places to go out. They want to see and be seen. They want to meet other people. So create a networking event at your bar. If you do it with a local networking group, it probably costs you nothing. And it costs them nothing, right? Maybe I used to do those a lot of time, and I would do some free appetizers for everybody, do a little bit of food. That way everyone gets fed, and then it's drinks at a cash bar. So you're going to make revenue, you're going to make a group happy, and you're going to bring in a great number of potential guests. Now, how can we get better word of mouth marketing, right? How do we get people to really advocate for us out in public? Well, one of the things you can do is do a bring a friend the program. Convince your regulars that they need to bring in new people. And when they do, give them recognition, right? That's a word of mouth way to get your regulars to help you out. You can also do things like create a secret menu. We see secret menus all the time now in fast food, but I don't know many bars and restaurants that are actually implementing secret menus and pushing them. But the whole point of a secret menu, right? It's not that anything's that secret. It's that you're creating this in the know situation. You're creating a situation where people feel like it's special. And that special feeling, it builds a want to be in your bar. It builds a want to return and continue to have that secret knowledge. And let's be honest, people are not good at keeping secrets. So when you tell someone, hey, here's this secret menu item, what are they going to do? They're going to tell their friends. And so the whole point of a secret menu item or a secret experience is not that it's secret, it's actually that it's not secret, but you have to call it secret. You have to do that, pretend to really have people take that and spread it through word of mouth. You can also develop signature service moments, right? Can you do something a little bit different with the way you're doing your service that will help bring in guests? That will give people something to talk about, something to really share with their friends. And lastly, we talked about how to get folks to do social proof, to push out their social media with essentially your content, to push you for you on their own social media. But you also need to look at your social media engagement. So the more engagement you have in your social media, the better off you are. So post some things about your staff, post behind the scenes content, share customer stories and experience rather than just being promotional. Create polls and questions that drive engagement. Because here's the thing, the social media is, for all intents and purposes, free. Yes, you can advertise on it, and in some cases that's really important to do. But for all intents and purposes, it's free. The algorithm likes you more the more engagement you have. So share stories, share behind the scenes, share things that are raw, that are authentic. And then get your guests to comment, get them to do polls, get them to do whatever you can to engage with you, because then you're going to be favored in the algorithm. More people will see your content. And when it's slow, if you're having a great time, you can even just post cryptic things like, hey, it's really fun down here today. If you're not here, what are you doing? Create that FOMO. So to wrap up, we've covered 5 powerful no-cost marketing tactics: strategic community partnerships that extend your reach, social proof strategies that leverage the power of credibility, local event hosting that builds in crowds, word of mouth systems that turn customers into marketers, and social media engagement that builds and creates real connection with your audience. Remember, guys, marketing doesn't have to be all about spending money. In fact, if you do these 5 things we're talking about, they're some of the most powerful marketing you can do, and they cost you $0. They cost you absolutely nothing. So consider how you can take 1 or 2 or 3 or all 5 of these tactics and deploy them in your bar to help your marketing and your bottom line this week. That about wraps it up for today. If you enjoyed today's insights, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a review. If you are ready to take your bar to the next level, schedule a strategy session with me by clicking the link in the show notes below. Until next time, have a great day, and we will talk again later.